Okay, it looks like our esteemed guests have arrived. So I'd like to have you guys give a big round of applause as I call them on stage to Linda Ballantyne, who is Sailor Moon. And Susan Roman, who is Sailor Jupiter. Hello. And Katie Griffin, who's Sailor Mars. And Toby Proctor, Tuxedo Mask himself. We meet again. It feels like we just, talked like recently.
You say that like you're like a villain.
I'm a villain.
We meet again.
Oh, who's getting who? We slept here last night.
Yeah.
I was over here, they were over there. Yeah, it's great.
Look at that.
I know.
Isn't that awesome?
That is just so cool.
That's awesome. Well, to kind of reacclimate you guys to what they did in the series, I have a quick little medley of clips here from them. So here we go, if you want to take a look at this.
I have a special announcement! Today's June 30th, it's my birthday! So let's party!
Oh, happy birthday.
Many happy returns. Oh, come on, whatever. Marks aren't everything. Everyone knows you're the bomb with lots of other good qualities. Well, boy, it must be that hit on the head. Strange.
Really, Lita? You're gonna make fools of yourselves.
But we're Love Scouts, and we won't give up until our mission is accomplished and one of us dates Andrew.
Oh, brother, I wonder if I was this wigged out when I was in junior high school.
Wigged out!
You dragged us all the way over here to get our portrait painted, so I want to get it painted. You better find him, Serena. He was here yesterday. What am I, the zookeeper? It doesn't matter to you. You've already had your portrait done. Oh, wait, lighten up a little bit. Yeah, step off. I'll be upset if I want. Because once he feasts his eyes on this one incredibly gorgeous girl with perfect features, he may never want to paint anything else in the world forever.
All right. So, Katie and Linda,
Oh,
you guys are pretty good friends.
Yeah, we are.
So how did it feel playing that rivalry on screen?
well, we weren't pretty good friends then. We weren't enemies.
Is that what led up to the friendship, though? Is this
Comic-Cons did.
common?
Yeah, we worked together. We certainly worked together throughout the years, but Sailor Moon, because we were recording most of the time on our own, Jukes and I would record together. And then occasionally when we were fighting, we would record. But I knew Linda as a peer. I'd see her all the time. But when we started doing these Comic-Cons, then we became Sailor besties.
Alcoholics.
Oh.
Awesome. All right. Sorry, I'm thrown off a little bit. But, also, I did have another thing I wanted to run by you guys here. So Sailor Moon is timeless, as you guys know. It has produced many, many dubs over the years. Not just in English, but Spanish dub, there's Italian, there's all sorts, and French and things too. But there is a very little known one that was done in a native language, Ojibwe. It's an unofficial one. It's done by 2 voice actors throughout the whole thing. They are not professional voice actors at all. I have a little clip of it if you guys want to see.
I love it.
Ojibwe dub.
Maman quer bem bujes.
Yay, que como a gente again.
Bujes, kikita. Ani she kikita.
Ani mapus dami kitan uwe kay kito yan. Tipiki gizes anti-ishin.
Ansa, tipiki gizes anti-ishin. qu'est-ce que garan qui a tu sais what? Oui.
Anyways, what do you think of that? It's very interesting, isn't it?
Wild,
It's-
yeah. Did they do the entire thing? Like,
They did some episodes. I think they're still working on it. It is a boy that does the voice of Sailor Moon,
wow.
and an elder lady that does Luna and some of the other villains.
So
as
cool.
well.
That
Yeah.
is crazy good. I like that. Who did the voice of Luna?
There's only two.
Yeah, it's the older woman that did that. I don't know their names, unfortunately, but I found this clip and I thought this is so interesting to see.
Yeah,
because
really.
this
It
is-
changes the whole dynamic of it, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Lower, calmer voices.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
that's
that's the original Japanese transformation music as well that they kept in from
Right.
the first series, which was changed in the one that we had as well. Up until the Cloverway dub, then they did incorporate the Japanese background music, like the transformations and stuff like that. So it was, as fans, it was quite interesting to see that. Like, you know, a lot of us would watch the Japanese version with the English subtitles because there was a break in between the deep dub and then the English one from the Cloverway and so on. So we didn't know what to expect when it was coming back. And then all of a sudden we have a couple of new voice actors, we have S and Super S out there, or the third and fourth seasons, and then we have the Japanese music being put in there, but still elements of like soundtrack from that was being made in Canada. So it was awesome to have that. But I think what I'm trying to get at is there's such a massive legacy that this show has in the world. It's got a special one in Canada because, you know, for North America, you guys were the pioneers of the first English dub for this and brought this series forward. And it empowers women. And that's such a very important thing, because back in the day, it was mostly like television shows of boys were the heroes and always saving the girls and stuff like that. And so how did it feel to be a part of that and see this continue on and blow up to what it is now?
Oh, it was amazing. One of the things when we first went into audition, and you could see it right there in the first clip, especially. You know, the mouth movements, these big exaggerated, you know, you never saw that before. So as we sat there, they played the original in Japanese before we auditioned. So we all had a chance to look at what was going on and not understand any of it, because of course it was in Japanese and the action was so fast and furious. But then when we finally got to recording it and having scripts in front of us, a lot of times we, as Katie always reminds us, we didn't really get the scripts beforehand. So the show was kind of unfolding for us. So that's why it often had that really strong sense of immediacy, because we were, right, so it's just, a feeling of, we were just as surprised and happy about the way things were turning out as people watching it. And as time went by and we saw the empowerment of these girls, not so much girls, female children, not so much because of the way it was written, but because of the support for one another and acceptance for one another that was already in the show. So realizing that nobody would have to turn into, most cartoons at the time, little girls were very sweet and, oh, that's lovely, I really like ice cream, instead of, where'd you get that? You know, all of a sudden we're allowed to actually be real, and with warts and all. So that's the important thing. So to be a superhero, you can't, I mean, perfection doesn't really exist, I don't think. And if somebody pretends to be perfect, then they're not real. So what happened was that we sort of, well, for me, can't speak for anyone else, it just slowly dawned on me, this is really different. This is really important. I'm proud of this. I'm really proud to be in this show that is so female heavy. I think
even as actors, well, our whole careers have been going into audition rooms where all the characters are male characters. So all of a sudden you have a show and it's all female driven, and I have shivers thinking about this because of the amount of times I've gone into an audition space and all the sides, they're called their little scripts, mini scripts you're auditioning for the show, are all male characters. So this has been sort of happening for 30 years. So this was way ahead of its time. Just to digress, my kid and I were talking, he's at Brock University for sport management, and one of his classes is EDI, equality, diversity, and inclusion. This Sailor Moon, especially for females, this was the beginning of all of that, and this was so ahead of its time. They're teaching it in universities, they're teaching it in high schools, and educating everyone now. We started this movement.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
So,
It's interesting too, because you said how it is timeless. And I remember being at one of the first Comic-Cons I was at, and you know, this woman sitting there going, "No, you don't understand, you're my child," da, da, da. And I looked down, and there's a girl, her daughter, right beside her, who's dressed as Sailor Moon. And I was like, do you like Sailor Moon? She goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "There's another generation!" Yeah, so it's so much fun to watch that. Just let it keep going, keep her going, let her roll.
yeah.
In a weird way, it reminds me of soap opera fandom too, because soaps have been on the air for so long, and quite often the new generation fans watched it with their mothers, their parents and stuff. It's the same with Sailor Moon, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's completely timeless.
You mean like Cricket and Danny getting married? Does anybody know that?
Oh yeah, I do. Young and the Restless.
They're getting married, finally.
Really?
Yeah. Now, Toby, so I know you got into doing Sailor Moon, right? You hadn't done a lot of acting, like voice acting stuff before.
I did a lot of acting, but no voice acting.
So when I had interviewed Vincent Krause, who took over from you as Tuxedo Mask, and Ron Rubin, who's Artemis, they had said that they had been doing stuff beforehand, and they were always used to being the heroes or like that kind of stuff. So you came into this show, which was already female-led, versus what their experience was. So how did you feel about that? Like, has it?
Again, because it was so new to me as far as the mechanism of how things went. It was only later that I started to audition for things after the fact that I would walk into rooms, and there was still definitely that ism where you'd walk up the stairs at whatever studio was, Supersonics or whatever, and you'd see all these pictures and like line drawings of characters. It would be like 18 men and two women.
Maybe.
Right? And so then, Julia Mew would walk up the stairs and say, "Hey, can I at least audition for that? Because I can catch up or I can do something." And so there was definitely that thing. And I still think it still exists, to be honest. But this was clearly a show to break some ground on that, which was good. I didn't really feel it because I was kind of fish out of water, and I was just so happy to have the work, and I couldn't believe what was happening to me, in a way. Because it wasn't something I had shot for. It was kind of a side note too. I found myself, oh my gosh, I'm doing animation now. That's so cool. Like, well, you do cartoons? Like, yeah, I guess so. I just I didn't really aim for that. But to the experience, just going back just a second about what's it been like for the message of this. Show, I forgot also too that there were, like when you showed us the other language, I was at Lula Lounge a while back, maybe a few years ago, and some guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, you and I share something together." I'm like, okay. That's a weird start, so let's go for it. And he says, "I'm the Spanish Tuxedo Mask." And I'm like, what? And then of course, I just never thought of that. I'm like, of course there would be that. Now, there's got to be a French, and that was the first time for me, except going to these Comic-Cons, that I realized the far reach of this show. That I was like, wow, it's not me, but it was the character that continued on in another language. I thought it was really fascinating, but it really has, the roots of girl power, like the first version of it, and that's what we keep hearing time and time again at these Comic-Cons, which has been great because we really were in a silo when we did this. We didn't know that one, it would be this successful, or really how far-reaching it would be, and now it's like you see this, and it's wonderful.
But what's kind of funny too is, like, on the flip side of the coin, young boys are quite often voiced by women, because once our voices change, it's hard to do that, right? There is there's a couple of male voice actors in that, like Full Metal Alchemist, I don't know if you're familiar with them, where they actually had a young boy at the time voice his character role, and now he's becoming quite a prolific voice actor for Was Funimation and I guess Crunchyroll and all that sort of stuff. But it's just funny, like all the little connections and stuff.
Well, now kids do a lot of voiceovers now. A lot of the animated series, if they have kids in them, are little kids now. who taught kids how to act? Idiots.
But also, too, the style of voice work is a bit more real. Like when you hear the kids talk, it's not amplified like, hey, get over here, that's my bike. It's like, hey, that's my bike. Like, what are you doing? Right? So and that for me was a transition because I was learning on the fly, like, oh, I guess I have to act like this. And then they said, no, draw that out, no cartoon stuff, just you. I'm like, what? I don't know me. It's like, okay.
So I know with you, because I was there for it, in 2022 in Vancouver, you were able to meet Toby Proctor, the voice of Tuxedo Mask in Japan.
Yeah.
Have you guys met your Japanese voice actor?
Not Sailor Moon. I met a few, like Pluto, I believe. We met, and I want to say maybe, I can't remember, Venus, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I haven't.
No. These guys, we have the new dub. We met all those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the old.
Sadly, Emcee, Sailor Jupiter, passed away, I believe, last year, which is sad. There's been, and we also, I mentioned this yesterday, we lost a few of the voice actors who were your peers as well. I know Kirsten Bishop passed away. She was many of the villains in the original series, and also Dennis Akiyama, who was Malachite, and I think there might have been a couple of others, but I don't know for sure. I can't confirm on that. But it's always sad when anybody passes away, and especially when it's a peer of yours, and it affects the fans too, because we love these people, even though we don't necessarily get to meet in person. It always affects you.
Oh, when I was a young guy, my very, very first convention was at the University of Ottawa, and we took the train out, and Kristen and I went out together, and we were like, where are we going to? Like, I have no idea. Like, we didn't know that this was a thing. I just thought it was a meeting, but turned out there's a lot of people there. It was pretty wild. And then people, it was the first time people asked me to sign something, and I'm like, do I actually have a signature? I don't, except for my bank, and I didn't, I don't know.
Do I have a
Yeah, I don't know. And then someone made me sign a death note, and I didn't know that much.
I actually remember Susan and I think this was in Vegas. This is why, I don't know, it was really, really popular at one of these things. And Susan and I were like, nope, we're not signing that. I don't know what that is,
I'm like,
but it's like a curse for the rest of my life. I don't want to die after this, I'm so superstitious. I'm signing it, I'm so sorry.
I signed it, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I still didn't know what it was, though. So if you signed it, did you die after?
I don't even know.
I'm still alive. I know that.
It's just an evil vibe.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I was like,
I am
Well, I knew immediately after it was wrong, because the minute I lifted my pen, I went, oh, okay, well, that's weird.
Yeah. And that's why Susan and I went, no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So while we're we're at an anime convention now, we're kind of chatting about it. Do you guys have, I read a story about yours, and I want to see if it's what you say, but do you have a specific memorable fan encounter that sticks out in your mind? Like more poignant or just...
Not us being fans, the fans being fans.
Oh, you can do whatever story, yeah.
I mean, my favorite one ever was Jason Momoa.
Oh.
I was in Australia.
I got to see it, it was hilarious.
Yeah, I did too.
And Katie and I were dying to see Jason Momoa. I really just wanted to touch him everywhere. I don't think that's wrong. Anyway, we
It
were
was right
waiting.
after Game of Thrones came out.
Right after Game of Thrones. So we were just and finally, I'm coming down the elevator to a lobby to go over to the Comic-Con. And who walks onto the elevator? But Jason Momoa. And he's on his phone. And I'm like, oh my God, he's here. I'm here in an elevator alone. Just a stop button. Let me see. Did not stop. But my husband's also beside me. And I'm like giving him these like, don't you dare give away the fact that I am married because I love this man more than you. So we're going down and waiting, and he's like on his phone, and then finally he sort of stops. And I go, Jason? He's like, oh. Looks down. And he's like, yeah, huh? And I said, hi. I just wanted to say a quick hi. I'm one of the guests here at the con as well. We're going to be signing and stuff like that. But I just wanted to say hi, because we're here together. And he's like, oh, yeah, where'd you come in from? Blah, 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 blah. I found out, oh, you came in last night. Oh, what time did you get in? I keep talking to him. Please, let this conversation continue until those elevator doors open. The elevator doors open. I'm having a lovely conversation with the Jason Momoa, who does love me. And as we walk out the thing, I see this face.
It was me, and I could see it, and I was, what is happening?
And I'm like, okay, Jason,
So happy.
we'll see you a little later, okay? Okay, bye.
Yeah, but I have the picture. The picture that they got backstage was hilarious.
I actually
Because you have
have it.
Jason Momoa look really cool, and he's like this.
Oh yeah, my husband has this little wall of pictures in our basement, and we have framed it because it looks so hilarious, and we look like such groupies, but still like, anyway, so it's actually hanging on our wall downstairs.
And you can see that he loves me more.
You're just a little taller, Linda, that's all.
I have some, the memories that I have are so heartwarming and bittersweet and delicious and humbling. And we've all experienced this, and this is what makes coming to Comic-Con so very special, is that people sometimes feel brave enough to tell us their backstory. And very often the backstory is not good, very sad, very unhappy. And then we're told that it was our character, our voice, that helped people through. And it is seriously one of the most amazing experiences to think that you actually had a hand in allowing someone to cope and to feel hope is quite, it's more sometimes than I can possibly bear. And I have to literally just look down at my hands and say, just calm down, everything's good. And if it is accompanied by tears, which often happens, the thing we hear the most is, oh my God, I swore I wasn't going to cry. Oh. And I say, you could cry, but it's just me. We're just normal human people. And then I say, can I give you a hug? And they'll say, yeah, that would be great. And so then we have a connection. And I suddenly think, how did I get so lucky to have this connection with people that I never planned on having? And I know we all feel the same way, because everybody in the audience, the viewing audience, sort of resonated with a certain character. So there'll be, of course, Sailor Moon was a major resonating factor and relatability factor. But then each of the other characters had a trait that a lot of people would say, oh, I recognize myself in Sailor Mars. I recognize that little bit of the, switch to anger that turns on very quickly. And look, that's the way she is, and yet she's really likable. She's great. She's honest. She's me, right? So the idea that you can recognize elements of yourself in someone else, and that all of us, in a character on a television screen, because in those days it was only on a television screen, there was no streaming, and you had to make a date with that TV, and you had to be really, really persistent about watching it. And to think that we had a hand in that, it doesn't get any better than that. It's like winning the lottery.
Mm-hmm. It is, that's exactly it. Because we've all had careers for 30 years. This was 30 years ago, and it doesn't stop. Like, it really doesn't stop. It's something so special, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime show for us, for everybody, really, that is connected to it.
So Toby, what I read, I don't know if it's true, a mom asked you to sing happy birthday to her daughter as Tuxedo Mask, wish her happy birthday.
Yeah, it was through my agency. They said, I was getting some fan mail at that time, and they said, we'll just collect your fan mail every month, come up and grab the box and kind of do the thing. And every once in a while, they'd pick out a few things and say, can you just, this one looks special, maybe we'll talk to them. And because you can't go through it all because there's a lot. and they said there's, mom who arranged a telephone call for her young daughter, Diana, age of 8, I think it was, and said, can you do that? They were in the States somewhere, I think Florida maybe, if I remember correctly. And so I went up there and they said they organized it. So it was from the agency, and I call it, hey there, Diana, it's Tuxedo Mask calling, and saying a happy birthday, and Serena says a happy birthday to you, all that kind of stuff and whatever. And everything went off like without a hitch. That was kind of cool. So I was kind of walking pretty proud. That was kind of a neat moment. And then fast forward to 2015 LA Anime Expo. Huge, 280,000 people showed up. It was massive. And we're sitting there, and this beautiful girl comes up to me. She goes, hi, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. And she's like, we know somebody together. I'm like, okay. And she goes, I bet you won't remember. I'm like, okay, who is it? And she goes, her name is Diana Tolan. I'm like, I know exactly who you're talking about. She was my very first fan. And she goes, she's here? I'm like, no way. She goes, yes. She wants to meet you with her husband-to-be, and they want to toast their upcoming wedding nuptials with you. And so I got to meet now the adult Diana Tolan, meet her in person and give her a toast to her wedding, and and it was so cool. And like she remembered the other side of that phone call that I gave, and it was just such a weird moment. It also made me feel 4,000 years old. But it was,
you look really good for 4,000.
Thank you. Oil of Olay every day. But it was that was so cool. But it just felt timeless.
Katie and I had another one earlier this year where a husband and wife came to see us, and she was all excited because she was pregnant, and they were going to be she's telling me all, we're going to do a baby reveal party. It's going to be a Sailor Moon thing, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, that's so great and everything. Then she talked to us for a while, and then she had to go off to the washroom, and I said to her husband, come here, get out your camera now. We're going to give you 2 versions. And Katie and I did congratulations, you're having a boy! And then we did, congratulations, you're having a girl! And so they played it, and they showed us when she did it. She had no idea that he was like, oh my God, I love you so much. And so she had no idea, and he said, okay, I've got something to play, just so we know. And I think he gave it to the girl who already knew if it was a boy or a girl, and said, you gotta pick which one, and you're gonna play this. So she played it for them, and they were, she was just like, oh.
That was awesome.
That was just not that long ago.
Good thinking.
Yeah, it was good, it was fun.
So it's very interesting because sometimes you guys don't have any idea how much it means to you until someone comes up and tells you this. But then other times you pull these things out and you're like, oh, let's do this and make this special moment, and you surprise the other person. That's awesome. It's just such the human connection, and that's so important. I love that. So.
But it is definitely coming to these events, because otherwise we were in a trapped room, really. And I did it singly. These guys did it together sometimes, but really it was something where you just go and do something, and away it goes in the ethers, and that was the deal I made with myself. I really didn't think there was going to be anything else to it, because it's unlike a theater, you don't get an applause. It's unlike some things, and I really didn't see a lot of them, and I didn't know the series at all when we were doing it, so I really didn't know what we were getting into. It's only later, much later in my life, that I realized the impact that it had on all of us and everybody. It's crazy.
Now this one's a little bit different. This is kind of about Totally Spies. So I know Katie and Susan, Linda, you guys have both been on it. Susan and Toby, I don't think you have, right?
No, I think I was in Brace Face, which is about the same time, right?
Brace Face,
So Totally Spies, Martin Mystery, The Amazing Spies is kind of what some people consider Amerime. It's like American but like Japanese animation-like style. So obviously when you're doing the dubbing, you have to watch the characters' mouth. Is it that you do your voices first for that, and then they move their mouths too? So it is like the regular dubbing.
It's like original animation. It's still,
It is?
It was, Totally Spies wasn't dubbed. Oh, actually, it kind of was because it was marathon, so it started in France. However, I don't know, I'm pretty sure, no, it was original animation. I always recorded it, I wasn't dubbing, I wasn't doing anything, and I was getting paid properly. Very different pay scale between dubbing
Which is
and
weird, because dubbing is so hard. I find pre-recording is so easy because it's you get to just fly. Flap your wings and make your choices, but you're just kind of chained to someone's cadence.
I know. There's definitely less freedom to dubbing because you don't have that freedom, but so that's how that happened. We would record, and the girls that were in it with me were in Los Angeles at the time, They came up to Canada, they were recording in LA, and then season 2, I think they say it's season 3, but I was definitely there for season 2 at some point. So I auditioned for all 3 spies. But I knew they were going to keep Jennifer Hale, because she's Jennifer Hale. And Andrea, who played Clover, was amazing. She just had this wicked voice. So I kind of knew it was going to be Alex, even though I auditioned for 3. And yeah, so that's it. So we were all recording in different places. And then Andrea moved to Florida. But yeah, they're awesome.
How many did you do?
We did 6 seasons. We did,
6?
Yeah, we did like 10 years of, yeah, it was a lot. It was a whole lot. And then it came back, and now it's dubbing. Now Totally Spies is dubbing, because we were all so excited. We were chatting with each other, going, "Oh my God, we're getting another season!" And then that was my Alex excitement. Anyway, but then they said no, it's dubbing and it's non-union, so we were all like, "Boo!"
Oh, no.
It's okay.
It sucks.
So when you were dubbing Sailor Moon versus Totally Spies and so on, were you guys, I don't know if I remember if we talked about this or not, were you all in the same room together? Were some of you together, or it was all separate, all in your own dubbing areas?
Just very seldom, like if I had a fight with Katie, I was just like, please, is Katie coming after? Okay, can we please do that together? And they're like, yeah, or sometimes like I'd be with Sugar doing some, like if we had a lot of lines together, then it's like, okay, we can do it so much faster, right? Just do it, boop, 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 boop. And these guys did too, right?
But I think only once.
Oh.
So the other thing is that there were very many shows that I wasn't even in, and some shows I only had, let's say, 2 lines. So some days I would go in to record, and I would record show number 41, show number 48, show number 54, and they would just have them all synced up, ready for me to go. And I would say, "What's going on here? Give me an idea of the plot so I know what to say and how to say it." Like it's
And they just say, just do it, just roll.
yeah, they say just do it. It'll be fine. So and because it's just like karaoke, the way the rhythmal band, the way that we recorded this, very similar. So you're seeing the words come along the screen, and your lines have a certain color. I think mine were green. How original. So my lines would have a green dot in front of them. I think that's how it worked. But everybody else's lines were on the screen. So at first,
Handwritten though, and this is like way back. This isn't like big, bold, changing colors right before you're about to talk.
And
Yeah,
if
it was about a 6-foot screen, 6 foot by 3 foot screen, and it was projected, and it was, maybe 8, maybe. But it was clear 35 millimeter slide film that they painstakingly wrote, so every line was in kind of order down, and so you'd see everybody's lines at the same time. So you have to kind of segment out from your eyesight.
and zero in on.
Yeah.
At first, I could never find my line. I couldn't find that stupid green dot. And so Nicole did all the writing. So she'd say, she had a very strong accent. "Suzanne, you have to follow the dot, follow the green dot." I said, "I can't see the green word, because it goes by so fast."
And then if you missed it, they'd have to rewind because it was reel to reel.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, and then, yeah.
And literally, I mean, I know certain actors who auditioned for this, for Sailor Moon, and couldn't get the rhythmo band, and were not cast, not because they weren't good, but because they could not deal with the rhythmo band. I've had, I think, at least 3 female actors have said to me, I just couldn't do it. I got too nervous, I got too crazy, I saw all those words coming by, because they did you have a rhythmo test when you, because we
definitely did,
it was an important part of the audition, because some people just couldn't grok it.
And also, a really important thing to always remember about voice acting is it's called voice acting for a reason. You are acting. And a lot of people will say, I think I want to be a voice actor. I've always heard that I've got a really good voice, and I've got just a regular old voice, whatever. But I do know how to act. I can act. And these guys are great actors. They're really, really good at it.
Oh,
yeah, well, Katie's okay. But the other guys.
Such a meatball head.
Yeah, so just, you have to remember that, right? So we've got these words, viewing across the screen so quickly, and we're reading it as fast as we can, but we're also acting on top of it, trying, like fighting it, like really like, oh, here I come, ah! You've got to do all of that, plus read it for the first time. It's bizarre.
I realized I didn't get rhythm band tested. I would not have passed.
You didn't?
Oh, interesting.
Because my story, I always say, they put headphones on me, they had me just listen to Reno Romano's voice, and said just get his cadence, and it was like, hey, you ballhead, what are you doing here? I thought for sure you'd be over there at the Friends, especially since they're like total fools. I would never have read it like that, and I give my life to Reno for me having to mimic that in a way, because I'm a pretty good mimic, I have a good ear, but I would not have done those peaks and valleys at that stage, because I didn't have the experience by any means, but I did not get rhythm band tested, and I would have failed, because my reading was atrocious. And it took me, I will say, 6 episodes, because it's like driving standard. You have a little tiny reference monitor TV, you have the script, and then you have the big rhythm band script. And that, I remember the first few sessions, I was like, I don't know.
Oh, so you only had it on a little screen, the actual
I didn't see a thing. For my audition.
Oh, no, but I mean when you were actually doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, for the audition.
For the audition, all I had, I didn't even see a line drawing, I didn't even know Sailor Moon, I didn't even know Tuxedo Mask, I knew nothing. All I knew it was the sound, and then I hopped on my motorcycle with my pager on my side, and a half hour later I got my very first page, and I nearly hit a telephone pole, because I was vibrating. Right, so I pulled over, and I went to the payphone, because that's the year it was, and then they told me I got Sailor Moon. I'm like, that's great, but Sailor Moon. And they said that thing you just auditioned for. And then a week later, I find out that I wear a tuxedo, I have a rose, and
You're dancing.
Did you have the
I don't remember that. I remember watching it, and I remember it being about my boys, and I think I must have. Because I certainly didn't have a script. I didn't have any kind of paper script, so it must have been. I don't know why. I don't know how I passed it.
Because you see, I think anyone who has a musical background.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe
is because it's called rhythmo. There's a rhythm. So and it's coming and it's coming and it's coming and it's going to hit the thing.
Yeah.
So you're waiting for your dot to hit the bar on the left. So the dot before your line, and that's when you start. So here we go. And meantime, you're hearing everybody else's dialogue in your ear. It's very, very scary and confusing. And then you see, there's the green dot. So the green dot's coming. And when the green dot hits the line, then I have to read the words that are beside the green dot.
Do you know?
So it could be something like, hello, how are you doing? I really like it here. So, and if you have to say it fast, the words are all squished up. Hello, how are you doing? I really like it here.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fast. Oh my God. Or if they're drawn out, you go, hello, how are you doing? I really like it here. Oh God, this is awful. Right? So it's all based on how the dialogue is written out. Is that making any sense? Does it sound totally scary?
No, because I wasn't in on the first round, I was a takeover on the 11th episode or whatever. I heard that folklore is that Nicole really cast by the look too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so as much as credit as you're giving me, this is the honest truth. I was dating Reno Romano. I was dating him before I did. No, this is the truth. Reno and I were dating. He was already
First Tuxedo Mask.
Yeah, he was the first Tuxedo Mask. We were dating. I was doing on-camera stuff. I had long black hair, trained kung fu. I looked like Ray. I was Ray. And he goes, hey, they still haven't. Ray was the last one cast. And so he said, they still can't find Sailor Mars. Your attitude, everything about you is, you're so Ray. You have to audition for this. I'm like, Reno, I'm going to be a movie star. So it was like a personality thing. You're an idiot, Reno. Oh my God, you're such... So anyway, I walked in with this hair, and Nicole already, walking into the booth, had cast Reno. And she had that about her, where she liked him.
Because Reno did look like Tuxedo Mask.
Yeah, I mean, he did, but she also loved him, and she did like the look of people, and she was like, if you have the attitude, it's gotta be you, look at you. And she was that. And when I went in there, I did have that kind of attitude, so I don't know technically, I think I had one line if they were doing it that way, and she had attitude. And I think I walked in and looked like Ray, and she went, okay, fine. Okay, you can be Sailor Mars. And then I was like, okay.
That was like me with my rockin' hot body. I said, it might not have the blonde hair, but that body is killer. No, I'll take the part, thank you.
So kind of on that topic of like the looks and things like that and traits, character traits, do you guys feel like there's certain character traits that you share with your character? And if you could also, another character that maybe you relate a little more to from the series, if there is.
For me, and I only realized this not long ago, Serena, you see every emotion on her. When she gets angry, her head gets this big, her eyes get this big. When she cries, there's waterfalls. Me, that is me, 100%.
And to that, Linda and I were at an award, like an actor function or whatever, and Linda was across the room, and I don't like big places, lots of people and everything, and Linda, my mother was there too, but she was like, you need to talk to people. And Linda and my mother both have these big blue eyes, and they were going, Katie, go and say hi to some of them. I'm like, I think it's fine. They're busy right now. No, they're not. Go over. So I look over across the wall, like to the back wall. I see Linda. And she's there. She's probably with my mother somewhere, and I can see her eyes. And I'm like, oh, God. And that is so Sailor Moon. And then it's typical, yeah, actually, I am a lot like that, too. It's fine. I don't need to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a lot like Ray insofar as I'm a loyal friend. I'm a very loyal person. I can be down to business, but I'm a bit more of a goofball. I'm closer to Jukes, to be honest, because I play hockey still. I'm pretty sporty. I like baked goods. I eat baked goods. I don't bake. But if anyone bakes me something, I'll eat it.
I'm not tall, dark, and handsome, but we both had a motorcycle. That's cool.
Yeah? Do you like roses?
I do like roses, actually. They're delicious.
And how
Do you wear tuxedos?
Sorry. No, I actually do like a tuxedo, though. I think they look really cool. They look very classy, like a good tuxedo. Yeah, it's a good move.
Do you ever call people meatball head just randomly?
My daughters, maybe.
Are they in the audience?
One of them is.
One of the ones here.
Yeah, isn't it nice, Toby, that your kids showed up?
That's a true me move right there. It's chibi.
How does it feel to you, if you don't mind me asking, having a famous dad, and you see all these fans and stuff, they're like, wow, we love him so much, and to you, he's probably just dad, right?
Yeah, it's definitely really weird. I didn't quite realize until like a couple years ago that was like actually a thing. I thought people were kind of just like his friends and playing a joke.
Oh.
We're not his friends.
So we don't even know who he is. Security?
No, but it's really cool. And honestly, my favorite thing is like when people are genuinely just happy to see him, and then like by default they're happy to see me, which I love. But yeah, no, I love that he's just like, able to be that person for people and like make those connections.
But then I go home and I start steaming everything because I'm like,
no, yeah. Yeah, no, I love it.
Awesome.
It's also not a bad thing.
I know.
And welcome to the convention. I hope that you're having a good time as well, too. So are you going to go into voice acting, do you think?
I want to.
She does. The apple has not fallen far from the tree. A beautiful voice. Singer.
First of all, what we haven't really discussed is Toby's parents did a lot of acting.
Yes.
More specifically, his mother was like this huge actress and director and choreographer and stuff. That kid is her 100%.
Yeah, there's a picture of my mom. She used to dance at the National Ballet with Karen Kane years ago, and then went in. So she was one of the first Canadian sitcom stars with a show called The Trouble with Tracy in the 70s. I wasn't around yet, my brother was. But there's a picture of my mom in ballerina garb, and they are spitting images so freaky.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. It is wild. Genetics are a real thing. I'm sorry about the height, but everything else is fine.
So do you guys feel like your children would be following too, or are they doing their own
Oh,
path?
good Lord, please don't let them. Acting there's a lot of heartache in acting, there's not a question about that, because it's fantastic. When you are working, it is the greatest job that was ever made. When you're not working, it sucks. And you're just like, come on, phone, ring, ring. So my eldest daughter is in the film industry. Every now and then she's like, I think I want to act. And I'm like, oh, you should. But she wants to write and direct. That's what her big thing is right now. She's in the film industry now.
She wants to write?
Writing and directing, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what her love is right now. So we'll see.
Oh, that's fabulous.
My brother is also in the industry. He's a storyboard artist and conception artist for a lot of film and stuff, like Star Trek he's working on now, but he's done stuff with everybody. Ron Howard, everybody. And he's really very good.
That's awesome.
I don't say that to his face. That's right to his head.
My guys, so Jet's at university. He's at Brock for sport management. Zero interest in the industry. And Wyatt is super talented. He's ridiculous, but he doesn't like anyone watching him do anything. Like, he taught himself how to play piano and guitar. My husband is a musician as well, and he's super talented as well. But Wyatt just has this thing. But he started making movies with his phone, like he wants to be Spielberg, and now he has this thing where he's watching all the classics. He's only 14, but he has zero desire for any kind of, doesn't want anyone watching him or seeing him do things, so he just doesn't have that, and I'll never, like Linda, I will never say, Wyatt, everybody needs to see you, because I know what it brings and what it is, and if he doesn't already have that, maybe it'll change, but I have a hunch he's going to be behind the scenes. So, yeah, that's it.
But the artistry's still there.
Yeah. And I think also, like, a big part, like, you know, when your parents are actors and stuff too, you have it in you to do that. My kids are sort of like, no, I don't really want to, but they're very good at public speaking, extremely good. They have no problem getting up on a stage, talking to people, anything like that.
Yeah, like I always joke if my family had a roofing company, I'd be really good at roofing. I think it's what you're around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I saw I would sit in the audience, see my mom and dad do this. My dad was a radio announcer for 63 years, and I didn't think I had that ability, but it was weird to end up doing something similar to kind of fall into it.
When I decided to go into acting, I had no idea. My mother was an actress in Scotland when she was younger, like before she came over to Canada. She did a lot of, like, on stage and stuff like that. And I didn't find out until, like, literally I was already acting. One of my aunts said to me, oh yeah, your mother was a really good actress. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What?
Wow.
Yeah, she's actually not your mother. She's been playing your mother for years.
So she's Scottish?
Yeah, she's Scottish. Yeah.
Can you do a Scottish?
Oh,
Nice.
my husband's actually Scottish. Yeah.
Oh, do it then. I love your accent.
No, see me? No, no. That's my mother, that's my in-laws. Oh my God.
So what accents can you guys do?
Well, we can do them, but you know, oftentimes, you know, you have to kind of study up on them.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we'll just sound terrible right now. I'm doing a Scottish accent when I'm not even ready for it.
The only thing close I can do that can loop into the same story of the Jason Momoa thing, when we were in Australia, I didn't know that it was ever in Australia, so when they asked us there, I thought, okay, we'll go, but nobody really knew the show. So we pull up to this really expensive hotel, and there's Jason Momoa checking in, there's like 6 carbon copy, like blonde attendants at the front desk, very nice, whatever, and like, oh yeah, what are you here for? And I'm like, Comic-Con, yeah. I'm like, you wouldn't know it, it's a silly show, it's a thing called Sailor Moon. And all of a sudden you go, Sailor Moon. I'm like, oh no, it was like a domino effect of blonde hair turning, it was pretty wild. It was,
It's amazing what Australia shares with Canada. Like they're
well, because it's cheap, they have to import everything, right? Because
Why don't you tell them about when we flew home from Australia, Toby?
Was there a spider?
Oh, no, this is hilarious. And this is not the first time this has happened, and I had an issue. Okay, so I disbanded from the group after we had gone to Las Vegas for a week and then went to Australia for 2 weeks. So I was really missing my family, so I left a bit early, and I went to Sydney by myself for a day. And when I decided to fly home, I'm just about to get on the jetway, the big 16-hour leg flight. And just as I'm going on the jetway, I see a dime, 10 cents. I'm like, oh, okay. I go to pick it up. I split my pants so bad. Like, I'm talking
You
like
said
from
split,
like
not-
stem to gudgeon, like the back to front. I mean, I'm wearing a skirt now. And I happen to be on one of those big planes where there's 5 seats in the middle and I'm the dead middle seat.
Oh,
So I'm like, oh no, I can't go to the washroom the whole time, right? So I figure, okay, I'm gonna get on the plane first, I'm gonna get in my seat, I'm gonna sit, and as soon as I can put the table down when you're allowed to, boom, down. So this entire flight attendant's like, do you want anything? Do you want some water? Like, I'm good, right? I am so hungry, I am so thirsty. Are you sure you don't want anything? Like, this is now hours and hours out of the flight. I'm like, I could not wait. And luckily, the transition in LA was where you actually get your bags and then do your own transfer. So I like running to the bathroom to get a pair of shorts on. Like, I was like, a whole,
You sat for 16 hours without getting up.
Sure did, and it was the worst thing of my life. I was so parched, because I figured, oh, if I drink water, I'm gonna need to go to the bathroom. And it's like, what do? Front, back, it's a bad deal.
You didn't have a sweater to put around?
I would have announced it to everybody.
Same, I was gonna say, I would have said, I'm gonna be getting out now,
No.
this is gonna be really hilarious.
Yeah, and then the year later, I think we were in New York, Long Island, and Linda was getting a picture taken, and I thought it was going to be really funny and just photobomb. So I went to go up on a chair, but the chair was super slippy. Went, and went, and I'm like, come on. So yeah, it's kind of my thing. I know. Yeah.
The greatest moments.
Yeah, it was either a dime or a photobomb. It's not worth it.
You still have your autograph session to get through today.
Oh yeah. No. I actually I had like a backpack. I remember Grace. It was Grace Lee was our handler in New York, and she was laughing the whole time. She's like, "This is so you." So I had my backpack in front for the whole day.
And the thing is, doing things with Toby, like something like that happens, that's it. I'm on the floor now. I cannot stop that. Because what does he do? Doing these things with Toby is like doing it with your little brother who drives you insane. Every movement I make, this is what Toby does. Are you ready?
This is funny.
I'll go like this. And I'm gonna go.
It was Becky. My sister was helping out yesterday, and she was drinking water. She goes, "Oh, I'm so thirsty." And then lovely Paul, brought us some water, and she took it, and she started drinking it. And
because she didn't touch her lips. She was trying to not touch her lips.
Oh yeah, she was trying to just like. Oh no, because I had water. She goes, I don't want to drink your water, so I'll just pour it into my mouth. And then Toby, as she's pouring it, and it water spitting out of her mouth.
Oh yeah.
So you're the sound effect guy.
Yeah, I guess I am. But it hit me once. I used to work at Flash Cameras in the underground when I was a kid. And I was in the store by myself. And my brother and I would constantly do that. Like if we see someone that we do it together. Because it's funny when you're with somebody. But this woman came in, she put her umbrella on the counter and it fell. And when she went to go pick it up, I went, oh my God. And then immediately, so she went down to pick it up. And I'm like, we're alone. It's only her and I. So she knows that she did not fart. And I know that I have done this, but now I have to act my way out of this. So as she's going down, she comes back up like, kind of looking at me like, did you just do that? I'm like, pretending like nothing happened. And I just acted through it. And you could tell that she's like, I need to get this developed. And like, it was a weird thing. She's like, oh, okay. And she leaves it and she
I thought you were going to say, excuse me.
No, yeah. It was a Pinto. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't hold back.
That's wonderful. That's okay. I am a yapper and I would love to talk all day with you guys so much. We have about 6 minutes left. Now I had said at the beginning that we would take some questions, but I don't think there's quite enough time in this panel. But all of our Sailor Moon voice actors will be at their autograph booths upstairs in the vendor hall very shortly. From 1 till about 1:45, we have an opportunity to get a once-in-a-lifetime photo with them in the photo booth upstairs. It's a little pricey, but I mean, you get to stand there with the voice actors if you get a chance to do it.
And autographed.
And autographed as well, too, so it's all included. It's $290 total if you want for that, but they are also at their autograph booths. You can get selfies with them individually if you want to. They have prints to sell and stuff like that. And they're going to be there for a little while. But I want to finish off talking a little bit about what projects you guys have on the go right now, if you want to talk about those, and if you want to talk about your social media, where people can find you and things like that as well, too.
I've got a show that's it's going to be coming, it was supposed to come out in September, and I think now they're saying January, but I'm not allowed to say when it is yet. I know, so follow me on Instagram, L.A. Ballantyne, and when it's coming out, I will definitely let you know for sure. But otherwise, I'm in another show called Mermacornos. We've done did a couple of episodes of that, and there's a couple of other ones. I think I did one that was called Carl the Collector, which is about a little raccoon with autism. Yeah, and it's a really great show. It's really fun, very cute.
I actually did first animation guest role that I had done since before COVID, and of course I can't remember the project. It's Lego has a series. Do you know what that's called? It's the Lego Dream something. Dream Seekers Dream something. I should have looked that up before.
I do that all the time.
I have your Wikipedia here, so I might be listening.
And so it was a complete and total departure. Just this older, very, very charismatic older woman who is passing on her powers to a new generation. And, I love the musical accompaniment.
The Legos isn't
That's the
up
warning.
on the Wikipedia version of the site.
It's on IMDb.
It's on IMDb, okay.
And I was shocked. They cast me, and then when I got there, discovered that it involved more lines than I think I had in total in Sailor Moon, and I thought, oh my God, isn't this is wonderful. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. But it was nice because I was using a part of my voice that I don't usually get a chance to use. So I was very older and wiser. And I thought, this is great. I'm really growing into myself. But, I also like playing younger parts. So, where I sound a bit younger than 940. And also, what I also do is direct audiobooks for Random House. And I just finished directing my 50th audiobook. Wow. So that's terrific because I get to work with all the great actors in Toronto and love it. And
How long does it take to do a book? From
30, 40 hours.
Okay.
And I will say too that the reason that audiobooks are being recorded in Canada now, and they weren't at all, even Canadian books weren't, is because of this chick right here.
Oh,
It is. You watch
it. So it's great. And during the pandemic, I built a little studio in my guest room closet. And I go in there and record with my favorite mic in the whole world, my Shure SM7B. And I'm just one lucky camper. I'm sorry, I don't mean to gloat. No, I'm not gloating. I'm just saying it's, a lot of us have kind of detoured a little bit, mostly because of the pandemic and a lot of the work we were always talking about union and non-union. So unfortunately, some of our work has disappeared into the non-union world, and we're not allowed to work in the non-union world. So it's this, and I'm just going to say this really quickly. The dub, people always say, well, why didn't they use you for the Viz dub? The Viz dub was done non-union, so we weren't allowed to do it, regardless, even if they had called us. If they had called us and said, hey, would you do Sailor Jupiter again or do Lita again, I would have had to say no, because it was non-union. Anyway, a lot of people don't realize that. They think it's just an automatic, that we can cross over. There are boundaries, not to mention the U.S. factor. We're not American.
So I have a couple of things going on. Total Drama is back, Total Drama Island, and I'm a scary girl. So it just dropped, so it dropped in Canada. I'm Super Buns on Super Buns. It's called Super Buns. I am Buns. So it's on PBS for kids, but it's also now on Treehouse here. It's for little guys. She's my favorite. She saves the world with kindness. And then Skillsville is coming out. We just finished that too. It's actually a really cute show too. That's on PBS. And I'm also teaching workshops. So I'm doing an animation workshop here in Toronto next week, and there's just 2 spots left. So if anyone's thinking about being a voice actor, and they want to take a 3-hour workshop next Thursday, come to the booth and chat with me, and I have a little QR code that I'm quite proud of because I figured it out myself, that you can see.
Katie also has a CD as well, too.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy. Yeah.
She's a musician, and you have some copies with you?
I have a couple of copies, but no one has CD players anymore, so I have them there, but anyway, just thank you.
You can use them as coasters.
Yeah, and it was 100 years ago, so I was really actually kind of cute, and no. Oh,
She's going to do my Canadian content for my radio show back in
Thank you, Jeremy.
Of course. I'm going to support all of our fellow Canadians.
Yeah, thanks.
Myself, I've actually taken a little break from performing for right now. I'm a single dad to 3 kids, and it's amazing. My best production ever. And I'm actually working behind the scenes as a director of photography, doing a lot more doc work, which is kind of interesting to me because I've worked in scripted for my whole life, and I'm really finding my love of working. I'm working specifically with foundations that are attached to the mental health sector. So we're doing like mini documentaries on success stories of programs that help people get through their issues and then handhold them to a successful point. And so I'm working, one of my clients is Trauma Community Housing, Support House. We were doing Canadian Blood Services for a while, but we're following people who may have been given grants, and we're seeing the success of those elements, and basically showing the public what they do as a function or organization, but also a way to garner more federal funding. And I love it because I get to work with some real heroes, and it's very cool. And I'm kind of a fly on the wall, and it turns out I really love it.
You know what would be fun? I don't know if it would be within your wheelhouse to do, but with documentaries and if you're doing the mental health thing, we've heard stories about how people have come up to you guys and expressed how the series has meant so much to them. But a documentary on the fandom.
Oh, I've definitely, yeah, it's
Amazing. Yeah, it
We
would
talked
be
about that for a long
so
time.
well received. Yeah.
Would you guys like to see something? There's an audience.
guess what? There's been cameras here the whole time.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, and thank you for coming. You guys, thank you guys.
Thank you all for here and the con in general.
Yes.
This is the first year for this, and this is a great con. You have built a very, very, very promising con. So congratulations.
Yeah, good job, Jeremy.
Best interview ever. So researched, it's crazy.
Amazing.
I know more about myself now.
I appreciate it. All right, guys, we do have some other content coming up pretty soon. So if you don't mind leaving out the back doors there, like I said, these wonderful people are going to be upstairs at their booth, which is right in the same autograph area up there. And if you do want to get a special photo with them, it is $290, but it is a once-in-a-lifetime special, and it's in the photo booth within the next 1 p.m. until 45 minutes.
Let's go. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, it should be cheaper than what we got. Because they're important. Yeah, we did. They were talking about like the different ways.